New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones does not sound certain at this point of his availability for this coming Sunday's game against the Washington Commanders. Ed Valentine of Big Blue View here with a quick Valentine's Views podcast to update the Daniel Jones injury situation. Jones was on the Up and Adams show podcast on Tuesday morning, his weekly spot with Kay Adams on that show. Adams asked him if he would be able to play on Sunday, and Jones' response to that was that it would be tough to say at this point if he would be ready to play. Said he's trying hard to get back, trying to do a little bit of everything to get better. Said he's going through laser therapy. Said he's doing exercises. Said he's doing soft tissue work. Uh, Said he's been taking what he called needling to try and get better, but had told Melissa Stark of NBC on Sunday that he still feels pain in the left side of his neck, that he still feels that down into his left shoulder. So doesn't look good for Daniel Jones at this point in terms of his availability for Sunday's game against Washington. Of course, the Giants are off on Tuesday, won't practice until Wednesday. We'll see if Jones improves to the point where the Giants allow him to practice this week. Jones did not practice last week, excuse me, in preparation for the game against the Buffalo Bills after suffering that injury the prior week against the Miami Dolphins. And listen, I've been asked a few times by Big Blue View readers if I'm concerned about the long term with Daniel Jones. And I do not want to pretend to be a doctor. I do not want to pretend to know anything about the extent of Jones' injury or what type of surgery he had back in 2021. But the short answer is yes. Daniel Jones had a neck injury in 2021 that landed him on injured reserve. He had neck surgery during the off season, has repeatedly said since then that he had no long-term concerns about his neck stemming from that particular injury. But here we are again with Jones having suffered a second neck injury. And listen, neck injuries, spinal injuries are nothing to be minimized whatsoever. Here's where my concern is with Jones at this point. Going back to 2021 when Jones suffered his original injury, the Giants allowed him to practice for several weeks before putting him on IR. He practiced for 2 or 3 weeks on a limited basis, throwing and doing things during the week on the practice field before the Giants shut him down. They basically said at that point in time that the only thing he was not cleared to do was to get hit, was to take contact in an NFL game. I don't know the severity or the type of injury here in this situation, but Daniel Jones did not practice last week. So it's obviously, he said it's a different type of injury. The Giants are telling us it's not as severe, but it kind of raises a red flag for me that he says he can throw, but that we haven't seen him throw. We haven't seen him on the practice field. He's obviously not cleared for contact. At this point, he's not cleared for practice. And that, of course, concerns me. So, yes, I'm concerned about the long term of any type of neck injury. The Giants have seen this before, that we've seen David Wilson's career end because of a neck injury. There have been other players we've seen get stingers and eventually not be cleared to return to play. So it's definitely something to monitor. I I am not ready at this point to say anything like, "Oh goodness, his career must be in jeopardy. He'll be out for the rest of the season." All of those kinds of things. I'm not going to go there yet. I think it's way too early for that. but it is something worth monitoring. It will be interesting to see if he gets on the practice field this week. What I do know is, despite all of the criticism of the Giants training staff and the medical people and all of that, what I do know is the Giants will not allow Daniel Jones to play in an NFL game unless they feel he is 100% safe, unless they feel there is no long-term issue, no long-term concern, if unless they are certain that he is not putting himself in any type of extraordinary or extra danger, beyond what an NFL quarterback goes through on a weekly basis. But yes, the short answer, as I said earlier, is I'm obviously concerned. I would like to see Daniel Jones get back out on the field for the New York Giants as quickly, as soon as possible, as soon as it's safe for him to do that. I know there are people who say, "Oh, Tyrod Taylor can be the quarterback, should be the quarterback," and all of that, and I'm not buying that for the simple reason that, as I wrote on Tuesday at Big Blue View, what you're doing if you play Tyrod Taylor, a 34-year-old journeyman, you are tossing in the towel on Daniel Jones. If he's healthy and you're not playing him, you're tossing in the towel and you are announcing to the world that you will be in the market for a quarterback in the 2024 NFL draft. I would like to see Daniel Jones get on the field. I'd like to see him do that with Saquon Barkley behind him healthy. I would like to see him do that for at least half of the season with Andrew Thomas and a more settled offensive line, and have some opportunity to prove whether or not the Giants were right to give him that $40 million a year contract. But right now, I don't think he's really had that opportunity so far this season with the circumstances that he's had to play under so far. But hopefully Jones will be okay. Hopefully this is a short-term thing. Hopefully there are no long-term ramifications. But to answer the question of whether or not I'm concerned, obviously I'm concerned, and we'll cross our fingers and hope that the young man is all right. All right, Giants fans, that's our quick show for today. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Please stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.